Oh my, Final Fantasy VII. Now, I don't think this is a great Final Fantasy. I do, however, think this game is great for popularizing the RPG in the West. And it was a lot of people's first RPG. And it did a lot. Had groundbreaking graphics at the time. It had a wide variety of gameplay. It had a lot going for it, I will say. But the worst part of this great game is sadly what I call the cult of Seven. And that is the group of people for whom this is the greatest game ever, and there is no talking them down from it. Or maybe not the greatest game ever, but certainly the greatest Final Fantasy ever. So there are no Final Fantasy fan sites that exist. There are only fanboy sites, because of the cult of Seven. And you might ask, what's the difference? Well, a fan can enjoy something and still see that it has flaws. A fanboy is incapable of that. In other words, a fan enjoys something as an adult, whereas a fanboy loves something like a child loves mommy. Mommy is good, and anyone saying something bad about mommy is therefore bad. So, you can't discuss Final Fantasy online. Because if you go, the translation is spotty, and, there's story details that don't make sense, you immediately have a tidal wave of people going, well, don't you understand, if you read all this extra material and watch these movies, then it makes total sense. Like, yeah, look, I'm looking to play a game. I'm not looking to find an encyclopedia of knowledge about this topic. I want the game to be self-contained. You didn't need a bunch of extra material for Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy IX. Those were actually good games on their own. But 7, they keep making more of 7, because there is the cult of 7 that will buy it, that has ruined discussion of the Final Fantasy series on the internet for the last, 25 years now, give or take? Ugh. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII, great game. Mostly for popularizing the RPG in the West, not so much for the game itself. But you kinda have to hate it because it spawned the cult of 7. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.